Right. X-Men time! We're talking about the very first X-Men from back in 2000 and a little background, of course. I grew up with the awesome X-Men animated series. It was on Fox Kids. And to this day, I still watch it sometimes. I got the DVDs. So going into this X-Men, I was like, alright, this is going to be cool. Then it came out. We got the VHS, and we rented it, we watched it, and I liked it. I didn't love it, I liked it. But the questions I have when I watched it is, where's Gambit? Where's Beast? How come they're wearing black instead of their yellow and blue? What, Where's Jubilee? They had Jubilee for like one scene. And they show Iceman, who to me wasn't... I remember the episode Iceman was in. He left the X-Men. And then they show him Sean Ashmore, who I knew from Animorphs. But they show him, I'm like, okay. And then by the second one they have Pyro. Well, we'll get to that one, I guess. But here I'm like, okay, Iceman, that's sort of obscure because he wasn't part of the main X-Men. I never read any of the comics. I only need to go by the TV show. And to me, Iceman wasn't an X-Men. Okay? He left the X-Men. But apparently they were going for he's going to be in the X-Men. And then we'll get to Colossus because that's another thing. And I just remember that, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen were great as Professor X and Magneto, and you have Famke Janssen and James, people I didn't really know. I knew who Patrick Stewart was because of Star Trek. I knew about Star Trek, but Hugh Jackman came out of the scene as Wolverine, and I was like, who is Hugh Jackman? Who is this guy? What? Little did I know he'd be the greatest superhero actor ever playing Wolverine. You're not going to change my mind on that. And it's just from the minute he comes on screen to the end of the movie when he leaves, even though he tells he's not going to leave, but it's pure awesomeness. Hugh Jackman is the biggest positive I can give this movie. Hugh Jackman is great. I do have a little complaint though, is that when he goes to get Rogue from the train, he says that take her back and he's not going to leave her. He'll be there for her. And then at the end of the movie, he leaves. I know it's because he wants to learn about his past, but he leaves. We'll get to what I thought X2 was going to be in a minute in the next one, the next X-Men review I do, but the setup at the end I thought was going to be something big because there's an animated episode on it, when he goes to look for answers, and I thought they were going to do something like that. They didn't. But and Toad and Sabretooth. Sabretooth they didn't do right. Alright, he barely talked. He and Wolverine didn't have a rivalry at all, and they kill him off at the end, during the fight. They kill him off. Same thing with Toad, but I was like, who's Toad? I didn't remember Toad at all. I remember he had Avalanche and Pyro, and then Pyro gets introduced sort of. They see the guy with the fire, but that can't be. And then in the second one, it is, and I'm like, okay. But we'll get to that. I'm just the effects nowadays, especially in Blu-ray quality, Just especially the scene where Wolverine uses the claws to go around that point of the Statue of Liberty's crown or whatever, and it just, oh, it looks horrible. Horrible. I had the DVD and they had a special feature on the DVD. I think it was a Blu-ray too, but like where they showed how they did it with computers and stuff, and it's like, I understand you couldn't do that practically. I get it. Or you could have. You hung him from something and spun him around, but CGI is cheaper. CGI is better. CGI back then wasn't the best though, and you can see that with some of the scenes with Mystique in it, where I like the fight with Mystique when it's two Wolverines and she's like or whatever, because it's not really him, so she's not impenetrable. But it's like, yeah, but like there's some of the CGI when she changes, it's like, especially when she's walking down the hallway as Bobby and she starts to change, it looks horrible. I do have a comment on the beginning of this movie, the Auschwitz stuff. Now, I get it. That's his origin. But if you were to reboot, like if the MCU was to reboot it, and I know they keep talking about they're going to be African American, for Xavier, maybe. But it doesn't make sense for Magneto. At all. Because he's got to be Jewish. I'm sure there's black Jewish people, or African American Jewish people, whatever. But, like, that's a whole different prejudice. I don't think that would work with the way they show in this and First Class. It just wouldn't. It just wouldn't. But yeah, the performances are great. The plot has always bugged me, and I'm going to talk about this. So Magneto's plan is that he turned Senator Kelly into a mutant. It was a test, right? But Senator Kelly gets away before he could make sure that it worked. He wants to turn humanity into what they fear, mutants. Now, he doesn't know that his machine kills. It kills Senator Kelly eventually, and when they tell him, he brushes it off like, oh well. It's like, well, you want them to pay, right? You want them to feel what it's like to be an outcast. So why would you be okay with killing them? They're not going to feel what it's like to be an outcast. They're going to, maybe for a little bit, but they're going to die. And at that grand scale that he's doing, they might not even survive right away. So why would he still keep going if he knows that it's going to kill them? If he wants them to suffer? I don't know. And will they all turn to squishy fish people like Senator Kelly? There is the Stan Lee cameo, which I never noticed until there was a compilation on YouTube about all the Stan Lee cameos at one point. And they showed that. I'm like, I never noticed he was there before. And I've seen that movie a million times. I had a VHS, this one, and the second one. But yeah, okay, the acting. Now, Rogue. They sort of fused Rogue and Jubilee together. Even though Jubilee's in there, like, Jubilee is the runaway and has a connection with Logan and and stuff like that. Then she's dating Iceman, but she should be with Gambit. I don't know what their problem with Gambit is. I mean, Taylor Kitsch, he was decent, I guess. But they just would not introduce Gambit to the main X-Men films. Even when they were going to have Channing Tatum do it, for some reason it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and now we're not going to get it. I hope when the MCU eventually, reintroduces the X-Men, he's part of it. This is who I want the key X-Men to be in the MCU. Ready? Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Storm, Gambit, Jubilee, Rogue. There you go. The 8 core members from the animated series that's always been in everything. Don't put that Iceman or Colossus or some obscure X-Men. Like, even do this. The character that I liked, it was the original character for the animated series, but introduce Morph. That'd be a great way. Like, even if he's just killed off in the first battle, or in the final battle, you can continue that in the next story with Sinister. You know, Mr. Sinister, which is another character that has yet to be introduced. And it was rumored that that's what Antonio Banderas' character is going to be introduced as in New Mutants. And I read online that there's something about they're planning a trilogy. I don't think it's going to get anywhere. I think it's going to come out, and then Disney's going to be like, okay, we released it. Now on to our own X-Men, and they're not even going to worry about the New Mutants. Or the New Mutants can be their version of X-Men. You know, putting a cameo from an Avenger or something. Like, have, you know, and then, you know, they can sort of retcon stuff too. Like, that they're the first mutants to appear in this timeline. And no, this is 2 years old, and it's going to be the original cut, I heard. So no reshoots took place, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't know how New Mutants is going to go. I hope it's better than Dark Phoenix, because that was an abomination. But back to the original X-Men. All in all, it's a good film. I enjoy it every time I watch it. It's weird that I put it in, and it seems to go so quick. Point. Like it was over like that. I didn't think I'd be able to do a review right now. I thought I'd have to wait till after, you know, stuff I got going on. But no, it went quick. And yeah, the design is it's dark, like the early 2000s kind of movies, like 2000s superhero movies. They gotta be dark and brooding and this is kind of what started. X-Men was dark and brooding, so we got to. No, it started with Blade actually. Blade was dark and brooding, so we got to do X-Men, Daredevil, Elektra, Fantastic Four, which wasn't as dark until 2015, but it wasn't as dark. But Fantastic Four, they started to, you know, Fantastic Four had actually decent lighting. It's the 2004 one. Guys, I'm gonna have to give X-Men an 8 out of 10. Why an 8 out of 10? Well, it's good, but like I said, the CGI, how it's so dark, and just like some of the the plot, not plot, but the plan that Magneto had just never made sense to me. So 8 out of 10 for me. What are your thoughts on X-Men? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you.